My name is Oluwabuikumi, but people call me Buyi.
My name is Olaoluwayimika Olubenle.
Malani and Daniel, but I also go by the name she just gave. At least not everybody calls me.
I'm Uche Moloku, but people call me Uche. Something I think I love about my school is aesthetics. It's a really busy school. Like there's nowhere that you won't be able to take pictures and it won't come out well. The general makeup of the school, like there are couches everywhere, so it really just like things to my taste. I can rest where I need to rest, which is something that's very important to me. So yeah.
Something I love about my school is the food. In all honesty, one thing I like mostly is Tuesday lunch, and that's because of how delicious it is. So that's one thing I personally like about my school, the lunch they give us.
MCC has really helped me to figure out some parts of me, like who I really am, helped me to see some other sides of who I am and what I can be. They've been also able to, in terms of academic and socially, I've been able to improve myself in every single way possible. They help to boost my confidence and took me from an introvert to someone who can speak publicly.
My school has a lot of things that are interesting and fascinating as time goes on because we get to adapt to different things. And something that has really captured my attention in MCC is the relationship we have with our teachers, because there's this close relationship we get to have with our teachers because they're always there when we need them, when we need corrections with assignment help, when we don't understand anything. They're always available and they always have listening ears to whatever problem we have.
You know, honestly, MCC is a beautiful place. The one thing I love the most is the fact that they have a roof garden where I can come to at any point in time and just sit down, relax after the day's work, just chill. I can sleep off or I can just relax and play with my friends, relax, do whatever I need to do, just clear my head before heading back in. You know, honestly, if not for school, I feel like I would rather go into something like the entertainment industry where I can entertain people, do things that would help me and promote other things, like going to things like YouTube or making movies or just making movies and having fun. Things I can have fun with and also impact.
Okay, outside school, I like dancing. I dance quite a bit, and in my previous school, I was also on the ASN team. And now in school on Fridays, just all the girls, if we don't go for sports outside, we just go into the hall and start dancing. I also like reading, honestly. I find quite a lot of interest in reading. I think I've read about 5 books this year already.
Some extracurricular activities that I engage in that I personally and absolutely love are things like that are more practical. So for instance, there was a time where I had the opportunity to work with one of the IT staff in building a robot, like a robot that moves on its own. So that's one activity that I was extremely interested in doing because I'm someone who likes practical work, and getting my hands dirty was extremely interesting for me. So that's one extracurricular activity I like doing here.
I would say my house friends are actually quite nice. I had never been to boarding school before MCC, so it was a very new experience for me, unlike some of my classmates who had already been in boarding school. And they are actually generally very going people. They're always ready to help with whether you withdrawing cash or you needing something or your books, whatever you really need, they're actually always there for you. And even the boys' house parents as well, they're actually very helpful to both the girls and the boys. So yeah. My house parents here in MCC are actually like a family to us because here in MCC we're a big family, to be very honest. And my house parents are people that are very approachable. You can meet them when you are actually down. Like, they are always there. They don't resist. Like, you can meet them if you need something school-wise, home-wise, anything basically. They're always available, and that's what I really like about them. The communication is there, and it makes it easier to deal with school life and hostel life together.
Well, they are very free and open. You can meet them at any point in time for whatever. There's a problem with the hostel, we just tell them and in under hours it's done, no matter what it is. There's hardly ever any complaints. And they just treat us like we're one big happy family.
One thing I try to do to actually avoid conflict is build my communication with my friends, my peers, my teachers, and whoever I'm socializing with. I want us to understand each other because
most times conflicts arise due to misunderstanding. So I feel like getting to understand each other's personality is something that's actually very important, just to avoid the conflicts. And if they arise per adventure, I feel the best way to work around it is to accept that you're actually at fault and apologize and let it go.
I would try and like resolve it inwards first, and I would just try and evaluate, like, am I in the wrong here? How much of the blame do I get to carry? Like, how much of it is my fault, that kind of thing. Then I'll go talk to them and be like, okay, I feel like this is why you did this, or this is how much you did to me, or this is how I feel bad. And then in the end, if they're willing to resolve it, then it gets resolved. If not, I be the bigger person and leave.
Whenever there are things like conflict in schools or in here rather, we just talk it out. It never gets into anything physical. It's just we try and calm down, look at where they are both wrong, and they apologize, come to an agreement, and figure something out.
Whenever conflict arises in school between maybe myself and a friend, the first thing I try to do is try to understand what went wrong and why it went wrong. From there, I try to see whether I was at fault or whether the other person was at fault. After doing that, I then aim for conflict resolution. That is, I try to call a third party to assess the entire situation and determine whether we were both wrong or whether another person was wrong. If somebody else was wrong, or if, let's say, I was the one that was wrong, I absolutely would not mind going to apologize to the person. However, if the other person was wrong, I still wouldn't mind going to apologize to the person, but I just need to make sure that there's a third party, and that third party comes in to sort of mediate the process to ensure that he knows what happened in the situation and he's able to actually tell us what went wrong, why it went wrong, and who should apologize. So currently, apart from just being a student here at Maple Canadian College, I was also fortunate enough to be elected as the president of the student council, and that's one way I believe I've made a large contribution to the school, because the council as a whole, what we've been able to do, we've been able to ensure that the voices of each student is heard. So whenever there's an issue in school, whenever there's an issue in the hostel, we make sure that we immediately report this to the school authority so that we can get them fixed to ensure that students are maximizing their satisfaction.
Academic improvements, because I don't think I was so much of a guru in science subjects like chemistry and biology, but over time, with the help of my teacher, Mr. Sam, he has made the concepts in these subjects like easy for me to understand. And my grades are nice. Like, I actually like my grades in this subject, and somehow I'm surprised that I can pull through like subjects like biology, because biology is really, really complex and it's a lot to take in. So I'm actually happy with how I've progressed in this course.
I've accomplished quite a lot in terms of my academics. I've been able to go from somewhat of an average student to an A-class student, where all my grades are above 90. And I feel like with MCC, the teachers are reliable enough, and whenever you need them, they can help you. And they've also helped me in terms of my courage as well. Now I can speak more freely in front of a crowd than before, when I would have been shaking or my voice would be crying, or breaking rather.
Coming into MCC, I actually didn't think there would be so much I was able to do because we started online. But over the past 9 months so far, I have been able to be the Vice President of the Student Body Council, and I am also the female hostel house captain. So it's definitely been like a lot of leadership opportunities for me, even in a place with just a few students. There's still places I've been able to like show my skills, and I'm happy that I've been able to be on the council because I was also on the council in my previous school, and leadership is just something I like to do. So with all the impacts I'm able to make from the STEP projects and all that, I think, yeah, I made a lot of accomplishments in this school. I was never really in the Nigerian system, I was more in the British system. So the aspect of application in the Canadian program isn't so new to me. It's spaced out over 2 semesters, and you do a minimum of 3 courses in each semester. So in my first semester, I did chemistry, physics, math, and English, and then now I'm doing biology, calculus, and advanced functions. The tests and assignments are generally easy. They carry about 70% of your workload, so that kind of takes off the pressure for final exams. And there's so many that you're able to get so many marks, and it's very, very easy to pass your assignments because teachers are even willing to help you look over it. So once you actually know what you're doing, it's very easy. And to study for tests, it's no big deal. It's in units, and just study, pass, and get your grades. So there's not too much writing on your final exam, because that's really just 30% of it. Yeah.
Everything is based on a website module, a Roselle Academic website, where you can see all your assignments, all your projects, all your exams, tests, when they are going to be, how to do them. There are all guidelines for everything. If you have any questions, you can always communicate with your online teacher or your physical teacher. You can also meet your classmates. In all honesty, you can actually just read it rather than stressing yourself. They're all very understandable and comprehensible. Once you read it, it's something you can achieve under a few hours if you're actually determined. Even if you're not determined, honestly, you can still achieve it in under a few hours, because it's just a very calm and peaceful thing that you can figure out on your own.
So the way the program works is you have physical classes here in Nigeria, but then you have assignments coming from Canada. You have online teachers based in Canada. So your course teacher, who is the teacher here in Nigeria, comes, gives you the lessons. He explains what each topic is about, and then you go back, do your own study, solve the assignment, submit it, then you have your unit test. Then after the test come the exams, and in between the test and exams you have different formative assessments, which are basically tasks that are not graded. However, they assess how well you are doing in that specific course. So for me personally, I always strive to achieve all and complete all of my formative assessments, because I believe they prepare me better for the unit tests. And by the time I finish all the unit tests and all the assignments plus the formatives, I'm then ready for the final exam. How I balance my work and study life is that I make sure I reach out to people whenever I don't understand something, and even when I want to have some fun, I also make sure to reach out to people, because something I've realized is that teamwork makes the dream work, and working with others is extremely crucial. Interdependency is key.
If I'm ever having a hard time, I just try and calm down, just clear my mind, look at it from a peaceful perspective. If I still can't figure it out, I meet my classmates or I meet my teachers, and they are always available to explain it to me, no matter when, no matter what. I just need to meet them. They don't complain. There's never any arguments. They just teach me. I understand. No matter how many questions or how much time I waste, they always do answer. Most especially the teachers, they're always there.
Dancing, gisting. I love gisting a lot. Well, not like when I'm doing my schoolwork, obviously no, but like when I'm free, that's something I love doing in my free time. And I love watching series. There's this series that I'm caught up with presently. It's New Amsterdam, and it has all these medical life things in it, and it's really interesting. I think that's one thing I really like doing in my spare time. The fact that we are actually in partnership with a school in Canada called Roselle Academy, and we actually have an understanding of what the education system in Canada is like, unlike other pathway programs where you're just taught based on a curriculum that they have or something, but we're actually taught based on Canadian curriculum. And I've grown to understand the gap between the Nigerian system and the Canadian system is a lot. There's a lot to achieving. It's a lot of work, I won't lie to you. The program is rigorous, but before you come here, just be willing to read, put your head to it, and you'll be fine. To be very honest, is this place I'm in right now. I like the scenery. I like the fact that I can see a beach just at my back once I look back. I really like this view.
The one thing I miss about MC are people. I mean, coming here, I didn't really think that it would give you so much time to make long-lasting friendships and serious bonds that you would actually want to keep, because it's just 10 months. But it's actually done that. I mean, being in a hostel, being a day student, everything, there's just always people that you're just wondering that, am I really not going to see you again after this month? So I'm really going to miss people a lot.
Honestly, there isn't one thing. I'll miss everything, from the building to the people in it, to the people that have affected my life positively, that have impacted my life, made me a better person, all my friends, the teachers themselves. I'm actually going to miss them quite a lot.
One thing I know I'm definitely going to miss after leaving MCC is the advice from the different adults in my society. So where I'm coming from, the previous schools I was in, they were secondary schools. So basically, you're still under control, in the sense that you have to follow a strict set of rules. But then here, you still have to follow a strict set of rules. However, there's some sort of freedom. So teachers expect you to do certain things without having to tell you those certain things. So that freedom is there. However, there's this high expectation that they have of you, and whenever you don't meet the expectation, they still call you back and advise you on how you can still meet the expectations. So going abroad, leaving MCC, I'm going to miss that Nigerian flavor of having adults constantly looking over me and guiding me whenever I miss the road. That's one thing I'm definitely going to miss.
One thing I would like to add is that if you're coming here, come here with a mind of actually focusing on your studies, because it's a lot of work, but also be ready to have fun. If you have any ideas that you want to pitch to the school, don't be afraid to just speak your mind and say somebody is going to listen to you and you're going to be heard. You are a student at the end of the day, so that's the most important thing.
You should definitely come here. It's a great place.
Follow me on Instagram. She just came.
Total well-being is very essential in a place like this, because people can break down due to a lot of cost load or a lot of things, side attractions. But like, you should actually look for someone like you can talk to, someone you can confide in, because everyone has a welcoming hand over here in MCC, and we're always ready to welcome you.